tell me anything about this poster? The cat's eyes went wide, and he pulled in a hissing breath.
Where did you get that?
It was on the notice board at the police station. You know what it's about, then? My best guess is it's the number of sticks he has right up his...
It's no joking matter, Cuddles. Krakowski cannot be allowed to... No, I can't even say it. Just pretend you never saw that poster. We've taken measures. The danger is contained. The danger is contained.
Fuzzball, you realize that's just made me even more curious to know what this is all about.
The danger is contained. The danger is contained. The danger is contained.
So, Krakowski, what's with this poster?
I don't want to talk about it.
But it's your civic duty to tell me.
How do you figure that?
Well, I'm painfully interested in knowing what it's about. In fact, I'm pretty sure that if I don't find out, I will literally die. And as an officer of the law, it's your duty to prevent loss of life. So, etc. QED.
That is a bizarre chain of logic, but it's still none of your business, citizen.
What is this poster? And why is there a number next to a sleeping Krakowski? I assume it's the number of sticks he has up his...
What? No, that's not... Never mind. You don't need to know.
Oh, but Edna, I do. I need to have something to throw back in his face whenever he gets annoying.
So buy a salt shaker. It doesn't matter anyway. We're dealing with it internally.
Oh, I see. Internally. Wink, wink. I get the picture.
All evidence to the contrary notwithstanding.
Yeah. Wait. What now? Please tell me, Edna. I tried to ignore it, but I can't. I've got to have something on that irritating little stick in the mud.
Ah! Fine! But only because I want you to leave. To increase the chances you'll never come back.
Yes, I'm all whiskers. Lay it on me.
Well, he has a nickname. We call him Peanut.
Peanut! Ah, I love it. Small and salty, just like him.
No, that's not why we... Actually, why am I telling you this? No! That's all you're getting until you do something for me.
Of course, anything. Tell me what it is you need, and I'll get it for you.
Take this slice of cake to Fuzzball. He deserves something nice for having to work on his birthday. And with you.
Okay, but you need to explain this peanut thing when I get back. Could you crush something for me?
Of course. Tinkle is champion crusher. You know, in home, there is no crusher like Tinkle for 1,000 kilometers, which is very hard to get to.
Great! Here you go. The big cat squinted suspiciously at the huge peanut being blithely offered to him, while I tried not to look easily crushable.
Where did Kitty get this?
Oh, this old thing? I've had it for ages. Got it from the giant peanut store. Well, have you been there? No? You'd love it. It's chock-a-block with all your salty friends. Plus, the doors are extra high, so you wouldn't even have to duck to get inside.
Yeah. Giant peanut store, yes. Not perhaps from Bull. Right on bar. Directly next for to Tinkle, right here, you see.
Oh, give me some credit. Would I really be foolish enough to take one of your peanuts and then give it right back to you? I'd have to be improbably and unnaturally brave. You would instantly destroy me if I tried that.
This is true. Kitty clearly has no bone for to back in your understanding. You are weak. And Tinkle does love to crash. All right, you give here.
Wow, you really annihilated it.
Tinkle always makes a maximum effort for best work to see.
Just the gentlest covering of this delicious peanut dust for my favorite police cat. Would you like a slice of very ordinary cake?
A bit of cake will certainly hit the spot right now. There are no peanuts in this, right?
Oh no, definitely none in it.
Why did you say that so ominously?
Oh, did I? I guess this is just how I talk now.
You are very odd. Cuddles, I'm feeling strange. Are you sure there were no peanuts in that Oh no, my eyes, so heavy. Cuddles, get Fuzzball, quick, code 7. Don't look directly at me. Look away. Look away.
So, I'm going to need you to stay calm.
Cuddles, I know you weren't the chief's first choice for this, but you've got to stop writing anonymous, threatening letters to Alfonso.
Firstly, that's not me. Secondly, that hack deserves it. Thirdly, Peanut ate some peanuts.
What? Oh, how? Where did he even get some?
Maybe he ate some of the ones on the bar. I mean, I've got no idea.
Oh, whiskers! And I don't have my tiny rolled-up blanket on me. I have to get to him before chaos erupts. Oh, this could be New Year's all over again. Cuddles, stay here.
Yes, sir. Just gonna stand right here. More or less.
Krakowski, Fuzzy's coming. Just hang on, little buddy.
The cat lay on the ground, outstretched, with fancy high street clothes and carefully clipped nails. The whiff of aftershave still lingered on him. He'd expected a fun night, yet here he lay. You could almost convince yourself he was asleep. Almost. Seeds of some kind, brown with white spots. He's not holding anything there. Hey, he's holding a bag of some kind. It's legal to have nip on me if it's for an investigation, I hope. Hey, there's something in the pocket. A business card without a name, just an unusual symbol.
Kitty, stop.
It wasn't me. Pepe probably took it.
Took what?
Nothing. Did you want to ask me something?
Not Tinkle. Babushka Kozvania has vision. She say...
The cat took a sudden breath in, and his head snapped back, eyes closed, body quivering. An entirely new voice erupted from his throat.
Get the tiny hands!
What are you?
Edgar was here! Edgar knew!
Yes, that's his body right there. What did he know?
Edgar was afraid! He suspected! He hid secrets!
Secrets? Like what?
Secrets in the walls where the wind blows!
I'm super bad at riddles. Actually, so could you rephrase that into normal, stupid, kitty words, please?
But this is neither here nor there. Now she is gone. But for Tinkle, she is never gone. You understand? She is always with Tinkle. She's not with you, she is with Tinkle. She is gone.
Oh, is she? Wink, wink. Well, do thank her for the information.
Kitty is talking like he just had stroke. Tinkle is even more tired of Kitty now.
A wall where the wind blows. What's that mean? Maybe it'll turn out to be important. I'd better take it just in case. Better head back to the office to talk to Tabby about this. Better head back to the office to talk to Tabby about this.
Still investigating?
I'm done. It was interesting.
Say no more. Literally. You're welcome to keep doing whatever you want from here, but our involvement is ended. The MMF police force thanks you.
Fuzzball, I'm not sure it's that simple.
La 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 la, I can't hear you. La 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 la. What's that? La 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 la. Oh, he was conked on the head and died? Wonderful. I love a good, clean moida. Case closed. Thanks for your help.
Detective, something smells off about this.
That's because you're thinking with your brain and not your sense of self-preservation. I strongly suggest you let it go, Cuddles. The city and you will be better off in the long run.
What will you do now?
Now that you're done, we're done too. I don't know where Nibbles is, but I can't wait any longer with my little peanut in this state. Soon as he wakes up, we're heading back to the station. We'll be safely out of the Montameeuws' fur, and they can go back to being horrible cats. Good work, team, and good night, Cuddles.
Tabby, can we have a chat? I'd like your insights about what I found at the Nitty Kitty Club.
Sure thing, sir. So, what happened?
The headline is, Edgar Montameeuws is dead, right in the middle of his father's club.
Oh, whiskers.
Very whiskers. Salted caramel whiskers with extra mobster sauce on top. Tabs. In fact, I spoke to 3 of the staff, and I found a few clues. Okay? So let's go through them.
I'm ready.
Okay, so Edgar was smacked over the head with something heavy. That's indisputable. But I also found some nip on him. The staff said that Bartholomew is really strict about them not using the stuff. So would he have let his own son use it?
Special rules for the prince, perhaps? Or his father didn't know that he was using it.
Well, the barcat said that Edgar came to the club a couple times a month, and he always went up to his father's office. Seems like they were pretty close, but that sort of schedule also leaves a lot of time to hide a drug problem. Plus, when you throw in Gumdrop.
Who's Gumdrop?
A close friend of Edgar's, died a few months ago from a drug overdose, and it hit Edgar hard. He stopped coming to the club, stopped talking to everyone that knew him. Why would he start using after that?
Grief can make us do stupid things. Or he was using it before and was already addicted.
Perhaps. I found this bag of nip on his body. It's got a symbol on it that I don't recognize. It's a cat curled into a circle, nose to tail.
I know what that is. It's the Orocatos. It's a mystical symbol, popular with cats that believe in things like the planet being a cube. It's used as a shorthand for nip in Meow Meow Furrington.
A particularly identifiable variety of nip, perhaps? From a known location, maybe?
Sorry, sir. No such luck. It's just, well, like a calling card. Tells you you're getting quality.
You seem to know, a lot about nip, Tabby.
I'm clean, okay? I just have friends who, well, I go to clubs a lot. Give it here. Yeah, nothing strange there. Regular stuff.
Well, as regular as illegal drugs on a murder victim can be, I'll need to find out where he might have gotten this. I found this business card on Edgar's body as well. I've never seen the logo before. Have you?
Nope, that's new to me too. What is that even meant to be? A crying cat? A cat exploding into droplets? No address, not even a name. How mysterious. You should find out what it means.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. Probably somewhere all the criminals get together to discuss the best ways to silence nosy private investigators.
Or where to bury the bodies.
A+ for motivation, Tabuski. Well, if you don't recognize the logo either, I'll just have to hope I happen to see it on the side of the road while driving around or something. The body had these brown and white seeds near it. I'm not sure where he'd have picked these seeds up on his clothing. Do we even have plants in this city?
I saw a flower growing out of a manhole the other week. It was carrying a knife. But you know what? Professor Huggy might have an idea of where they're from. She's overseas right now, but she did leave a spare key with me. You could check some of the reference books in her office.
In her office? Does she still have that thing?
The giant snapping orchid? Oh, yeah. I saw it when I dropped off their seedlings.
Yeah, I don't want to go in there. And it's not because of that. I'm taking a break from opening doors. I used a phone rather than a door, like a civilized kitty.
Oh, sir, it really didn't bite you that badly. It was just trying to make a friend. But if you insist.
This scrap of paper was hidden nearby.
Hidden by Edgar?
Well, Ghost said so. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was weird, but the fact it was hidden near a body makes me think it's gotta mean something. Look, it's got something written on it. A gentle cat in the desert. Have you ever heard of that?
That's not a saying or something, is it? Like, no cat can know himself until he's been a gentle cat in the desert.
Deep, yes. But I've never heard anything like that. Also, the way it's written, it reminds me of a book title.
Oh, could be. Why don't I head to the university library in the morning and see if they have a book with that title on record?
That'd be great, Tabuski. Thank you so much. There was a footprint near the body, a really big one.
The club was open last night, right? Could it just be a customer's, or an employee, or fuzzball?
It was pressed into the carpet on top of all the other prints, and it wasn't disturbed at all. I don't think it was made while the club was open. But there is one very big cat that works there. It could be that he stomped around when he found the body, left the print, and forgot.
Or...
Yeah, I know. Or when he left the body there. He didn't seem to care too much for Edgar, but that's not the reason I'm treating it as a clue. One of the other staff said that they heard Edgar returning to the club early this morning, along with another very big cat.
A very big cat is not much of a lead. Was it the giant staff member?
No, Platty, Desiree said it was a stranger Edgar had been speaking to the night before. She'd seen and heard them talking, and then heard them again later that night.
Platty Desiree?
The club's, entertainer? Her stage name is Desiree. I rescued her from a locked chest.
Oh, gosh. gosh.
There are 5 suspects, as I see it. The 3 regular staff, the Catulets, and whoever made a huge footprint I found near the body. All the staff had motives. Edgar had dirt on some of them, or treated them in a way they didn't like, or was a target for their ire by being a thoughtless rich playboy type. The Catulets have all the reason in the world, I assume, and the mysterious footprint owner.
The Catulets? Who are they?
Oh, another crime family, it seems. How many does this town have? I've never heard of them until tonight, but it seems they're at odds with the Montameeuws in some way. The chief was really concerned that they might be behind this, but Fuzzball didn't think so.
So, the usual. Mobsters jostling for position in this city, willing to do anything to win.
Either way, I need to find out more about them to decide.
The footprint sounds like a dead end for now, unless you meet a giant, so perhaps you can look into the staff more?
Yeah, they're not exactly the types to have a lot of public information on record, so I'll have to see what I can find out as I investigate. Right, okay. Let me contact Huggy to see if she knows anything about these seeds.
Ooh, tell her to say hi to Matrick for me.
Trick? I thought he was in Lena.
Oh no, he finished up there last month, and then heard about the professor's expedition to Pashan and joined up. He's been out there with her for about a month now.
Oh, that makes sense. Wait, why do you know more about my brother's movements than I do?
I, just like to keep in touch with him.
Hello? Hello? I'm on a satellite phone. You'll need to speak up.
Okay, Professor Huggy! Hello! Hi, it's Cuddles! Can you hear me?
Yes, just about. Who's speaking?
Cuddles! Cuddles Nutterbutter from across the hall!
Ah, Cinnamon, yes.
Oh, Cuddles, I have some brief questions if you have time.
Of course, Cinnamon, fire away.
Cuddles,
I can't right now, I'm afraid. I'm on location studying some plants, but thank you for the offer. What was your question?
I found some seeds, and I'm trying to figure out what they are. And since you're a botanist, I was hoping you would know.
Ah, seeds! How exciting! Big fan of seeds myself. Basically plant babies, you know. Don't let them inside your brain, though. Oh, no! They'll grow in there, and then, boom! Sapling eye! Can you describe them, Cinnamon?
It's Cuddle. Forget it. Okay, they're small and brown with little white spots.
Brown with white spots. Well, yes, you've just described half of all the seeds in the world. Come on, Cinnamon. I need more. Give them a sniff.
Well, I guess I can. I get they smell kind of peppery.
Peppery. And with white spots. Well, those have to be Cabalor seeds. Fascinating. Not something you're likely to find growing in Meow Meow Furrington. They're incredibly toxic to cats, you see. I once had a graduate student who studied them for her PhD. Beautiful funeral.
Toxic? You just made me sniff them.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be fine probably now. If you'd lick them, you'd be in agony right now. Well, or at least on the way to a hideously painful death without equal. Still, who goes around licking random things they find in the world?
Yeah, who would do that? By the way, I found them along with a bag of nip. I'm not sure they're related, but do you know any way to identify where it might have come from?
Nip? Oh dear, nasty stuff. You don't want to get involved with that. People think it's harmless, but oh my, the chemistry says otherwise. However, I used to know a cat who might be able to help. He had connections with the, well, seedier elements of the city. Just see what I did there. Just a little botany joke for you there, Cinnamon. Lighten up! Anyhow, I used to get all my unusual samples from him for my research, including Nip. He can probably help you identify the strain, maybe the supplier.
Any lead is welcome, Professor. What's his name and where can I find him?
His name's Cosmo. Last I heard, he was working at a general goods shop downtown. He's a little jittery at the best of times, so I suggest not mentioning my name at first.
Okay, do you know the name of the shop?
Now you're making me dig into my memory. I think it was, Wowie's Terrarium, or, no, Meowie's Sensorium, Meowie's something, anyway, that's for sure. Meowie's, Meowie's Emporium. That's Emporium without the E.
Meowie's Emporium? Please tell me that's not named after the owner. Meowie. His parents didn't even try. Come on. Who even started the tradition of giving kittens cutesy names, huh? Do you know how much bullying I got in school for Cuddles? And don't even get me started on Butter.
I think you misheard me earlier, Cinnamon. I'm a botanist, not a therapist. This shop is named after him, but I'm not even going to try to explain. You'll see once you get there.
We received your seedling delivery, Professor. They're in your office. Tabby said she'll water them every day.
Excellent. Thank you, Cinnamon. I look forward to studying the balloon trees in detail when I return.
Balloon trees. Okay.
Oh, yes. When planted, the growing trunks expand like a balloon. Amazing process. Pushes all competing saplings away, you see?
Oh, and how much do they, expand?
Oh, about the width of our shared foyer.
So, if some seedlings had theoretically, mind you, escaped and, started growing in the walls...
They would destroy an entire floor of the building. It would be a calamity. What makes you ask?
Oh, just my unquenchable curiosity. So, where are you right now, Professor?
Oh, I'm excavating a new find in Peshan. We're learning so much about what the ancient Peshans thought of the afterlife. Apparently, they thought it needed sprucing up. Did you know they mummified their plants? So far, we've found nearly 100 individually mummified pot plants in this single tomb.
Yes, I have something similar on my balcony at home. I believe Trick joined you recently as well?
No, not a trick, dear Cinnamon. I'm just very far away. The distance makes me softer.
No, Matt Trick, my half-brother.
Oh, yes, the wolf. He is a dear. Marvelous at figuring out death traps that litter these ancient places.
Tabby, she asked me to pass on her greetings to him.
Matrick, Cinnamon says to send you his bleatings? No, I don't know. He's a cat. It makes no sense. No, I don't know either, dear. I'm sorry.
Yep, okay, yep. Okay, Professor, thanks for your time.
Of course, Cinnamon, happy to help. Good luck with the... No! Don't disturb the sacred circle! It will unchain!
Oh, that sounded fine. Yep, she's fine. Now let's see if Tabby can find out where this Emporium place is. Now, The professor didn't know where the seeds came from, but she did have a lead for me on a nip dealer. If Edgar was involved with nip, that's a start. I need to head to a place called Meow's Emporium.
What a cute name! I'll find the address for you, sir.
Thanks, Tabs.
Hey, Buster, do you have an appointment? You can't go in there! Sorry, sir, he just forced his way in.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Montameeuws, I assume. It could only be him. The heavy-set cat in the exquisitely tailored suit did not reply, but his eyes glowered at me like burning coals from under pinched brows. As unease grew within me, I tried to project an aura of calm and confidence. For Tabby's sake, of course. I felt very brave. Well, a bit brave. Brave adjacent. It's okay, Tabby. Can you try to track down the address we talked about, and I'll chat with our visitor?
I'll be right outside, sir. If you need me, just yell as if you're being throttled by a rude stranger.
Though older than me, he seemed perfectly capable of lifting me above his head and snapping me like a mewling green twig. This was a dangerous cat. Mr. Montameeuws, I am sorry that we have to make our acquaintance under such unfortunate circumstances.
Do not lie to me, Nutterbutter.
I apologize if I...
Stop talking. Against my better judgment, I gave you and your friends a chance. They forced their way into my club, and rather than having them all thrown out in some moment of madness, I allow it. My staff get interrogated, and I tell them to cooperate. My property is taken, and I permit it. Why? Because in my naivete, I believed that for once, the police and I might have the same goal in mind. Finding my son's killer.
I think you misunderstand.
No! When I arrive, what do I find? Stolen evidence, harassed staff, and Edgar lying on the ground like a piece of trash. You didn't even photograph the crime scene!
Mr. Montameeuws, I assure you, you're finding Edgar's killer is...
Do not dare say his name! My son is dead, murdered, in the one place he should have been safe! If you truly cared at all about my lost cat, you and your friends would have felt the tiniest piece of feline empathy and actually done your jobs!
Mr. Montameeuws, you let me...
Enough! If I cannot trust this city's finest, then I shall do it myself. My claws are sharp, Nutterbutter. I will shred this entire city into scraps if that's what it takes to find the stray that murdered Edgar.
Bartholomew fell silent at last, chest heaving, whiskers quivering. His face had gone red with fury, and he seemed itching to hit something. Anything. Probably me. My brain was telling me to let him leave without saying another word if I didn't want to get a fist to the face. So, I ignored it and ran straight towards the volcano. No, you won't. I mean, you would. You could, absolutely, but you won't. You could have heard the pin of a grenade dropping to the floor. You didn't need to come here in person to tell me what you plan to do, Mr. Montameeuws. You don't need my permission or anyone's. You must realize why the police did the bare minimum tonight. They're scared of you, of what you could do in retaliation to any perceived slight. I think you're here because you don't want this to turn messy any more than they do, whether it's for business reasons or because it was your son. It doesn't matter to me. We have the same goal, Mr. Montameeuws. I want to find his killer. Truly, I do. Not to make the police happy or to up my solve rate, but because it matters. I didn't know him, and I don't know you, but everyone deserves justice, no matter who they are or were. If you let me, if you give me the time and the space to work, I will get justice for Edgar. You have my word.
I would have said you were new to this city if I didn't know better, Nutterbutter. Justice. You hold the word out before you like a flaming brand, so sure it will keep the darkness at bay. But what about the creatures that live on the streets around you, Nutterbutter? Will they respect your faith in that spluttering light? What about me?
He lifted one paw, and I tensed. But he simply scratched his cheek and lowered it again.
Impassioned speech aside, you are mistaken about one thing. I did need to come here in person. I needed to see you, to see who I was dealing with, to gauge your mettle. That brand I mentioned, hold it very high and very tight. I will allow you to keep carrying it for now. But should it go out, nothing will stop my rage from engulfing this city.
Is that a threat, Mr. Montameeuws? You should know that I don't take those lightly. The big cat did not immediately answer, but sniffed and turned his head to the side until his neck cracked like a rifle shot.
There will be many other cats caught up in this situation, Nutterbutter. The things they've done, the places they've been. It forms a web, with my son's murder at the center of it. You will be seeking out the details of this case, walking the gossamer strands of evidence and intuition to find the cats who lie at the ends. I can do the same, if I have to. The difference is, if you force me to step in, you will discover that many of those strands disappear forever. Don't fear for your own safety, Nutterbutter. Fear for theirs. We are not done speaking. I have a funeral to plan, and then we shall find out what you have learned. Be at my office tomorrow evening. Do not fail to appear.
Sir, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm not hurt, but that was... yikes. Wow, I never had to think that fast in my life. Am I shaking, Tabby? I feel like I'm shaking. Whiskers, I thought I was gonna die at least twice during that conversation.
I heard yelling and then nothing. I was about to phone the police. What happened?
Oh, not much. He just wanted to let me know that if I didn't solve his case, I'll probably wake up one day strapped into his declawing machine.
He said that?
He implied it, when he wasn't threatening to kill everyone else linked to the case. He expects me to go talk to him at his office tomorrow. I assume to show me his collection of flensing knives and extracted teeth.
Ugh. Well, at least you won't do what that overgrown hairball tells you to. Cuddles, no, you can't.
I have to, Tabs. He's given me, well, not permission, but space to solve this myself. For now, I don't know why, but he doesn't want to step in directly. Not yet. That means there's still a chance for someone to figure this all out without things getting worse.
Does that someone have to be you?
The police have already tried to avoid escalating things by not getting involved. It clearly hasn't had the intended effect. I don't have that luxury of inaction, Tabs. I might be the only one who can keep Bartholomew from taking his anger out on any other cats, and therefore the only one who can get proper justice for Edgar.
Has anyone told you that you have a really direct sense of justice, and that it just might get you killed?
Several times tonight already, actually, yeah.
I don't mean it in a bad way, sir. It's admirable. You're a good cat, better than this city deserves. And you won't have to do this alone, sir. I'm here to help in whatever way I can, starting with the address to Meowie's Emporium.
Thanks, Tabs. I'm feeling a little drained after that interaction, though. I think I'll just sleep on my couch tonight. This is going to be a tricky one, Tabs. I'm going to have to take some chances, I think. Skirt a few lines. Let's be prepared for anything.
I'm gonna head home then, sir. Rest up and get your energy back. I'll head to the university tomorrow and see if I can find anything on that message you found.
Great stuff. Good night, Tabster. Oh, and remember, if you ever feel stumped, don't overlook the old tongaroo. Yeah, the power of taste.
Yeah, I'll see, sir. Thanks, and good night. Right, let's get some answers.
What is it with you people and bells?
Edna, how are you? I didn't realize you'd changed jobs.
I didn't. This is my day job.
2 jobs? Well, aren't you a productive possum? And your little hat is adorable.
Yes, everyone comments on my productivity.
I love that you put on a hat to celebrate Saberfest. That's the spirit.
It wasn't my choice.
Oh, yeah, now I remember. All staff have to wear one during Saberfest, don't they?
It's a stupid rule.
Don't you also have to respond to his catchphrase if someone says it to you?
Tabby, don't you dare!
Thanks!
Tabby, don't make me muffle you!
Of!
Tabby, you're better than this!
Of?
Fury.
Woohoo! Fangs of Fury!
They're lucky I need this job.
Why do you work here during the day?
I have a real passion for shaping young minds through the power of literacy.
Oh, how wonderful.
That was my joking voice. Can you imagine? No, it's for the money. I collect cactuses, and they don't come cheap.
I love those plants. They're so cute with their little ears and adorable arms. You just want to snuggle them up.
Sure. And then they snuggle their cute little thorns into your adorable little face. Cactuses are for spritzing with water, Tabby, not for hugging.
All right, I'll keep my paws clear. How many do you own by now?
9.
A good start.
118.
Aren't you exhausted working both day and night? When do you rest?
I have the constitution of a bull. If I was sleep deprived, you'd know it. I'd be cranky all the time.
Gosh, yeah. Can you imagine? Were you sleeping behind the desk when I came in?
I didn't get any rest last night.
Ah, a busy night at the station. Lots of filing to do. I know how that goes. You know, I always tell myself just one more binder, and then before I know it, it's midnight.
Tabby, please get some hobbies. And no, that's not why I was up late. I was interrogating a cake werewolf.
I feel like even if you explained that, I still might not understand. It's great to see that Saberfest is still going on. Woo-woo-hoo-hoo! Go, Sadie!
No! No! Unsolicited wooing is not permitted anymore.
Oh, sorry?
Wow, this and woo that! I've had enough! No more wooing from drunken students wandering in and asking for a free beer, and no more wooing for that annoying mascot and his stupid catchphrase!
Oh, Edna, come on. You were young once, right? I assume? Besides, Saberfest is just good fun. I used to dress up as Sadie every year and join in the parade.
Exactly. And now you work for Cuddles. It's a slippery slope, Tabby. One woo too many, and you end up employed by an irritating PI.
Oh, he's not that bad. A bit scatterbrained, maybe unconventional. What did he even do to make you dislike him so much?
Oh, I'll tell you. I'll tell you! On his first day, he knocked my cat cuss off the desk at the police station. Abigail was only 2 weeks old. I'll never forgive him.
Talk soon, Edna. I'm here to investigate a phrase.
Oh, well, you'll want the phrase investigation department, then. It's out the front door, take a left, and keep going until I can't see you anymore.
No, I think it might be a book. A Gentle Cat in the Desert.
They made a book of that? Remind me never to read it.
What do you mean? It's not a book?
A film from... well, you weren't born yet. Long ago. I remember hating it. Something like the cat goes into the desert to find his missing wife, spends 2 hours whining, and ends up becoming the leader of a society of underground couch people. Unbearable.
A film! Yes, that fits. Is there a way to check?
Well, just watch it. I'm sure you'll agree with me.
I mean to check if it is a film. Is there a record somewhere?
Do you want a list of all films ever made? Conveniently at par?
Well, if you put it like that.
We do have that, actually. I printed them all out recently to see how much ink the printer can hold. Here you go.
Those do not go together. So it is a film! Oh, I wonder why Edgar wrote it down. A clue? Or was he just organizing a movie night? There's the date it premiered. 2nd month of the Year of the Monkey. Ugh, Year of the Monkey? Why is everyone in this city obsessed with using animal symbols instead of numbers? Probably Havelock's fault again. Oh, I should check newspapers for that date. They'll be on the microfilm. Here we go. This is where the newspapers for that month will be. This is the newspaper film for that month. I don't think anyone's used this machine in years. The light bulb needs to be replaced. Ow! Well, paint my pads and call me Gemma, that's hot. I'll need assistance to remove that. It's so high up. How is anyone supposed to open that? So many exhibits! Let's see what they all are. Well, here goes nothing. Whoops! Oh, gosh. I really thought that would have been attached more firmly. I'm just gonna borrow this, Mr. Tooth. I'll be sure to put it back. That doesn't look like a public use towel. Edna, the bulb in the microfilm reader is very old and faint. Do you have a spare?
We don't keep spares. Try squinting.
Edna, could I borrow that towel?
Does someone need muffling?
No, I just want to pick something up with it.
Oh, too bad. I loaned the grasping towel out to the zoology department yesterday. This towel is only for noisy students.
I need the muffling towel. There are noisy students in the library.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, fun festive sounds are coming in from outside now. I'm not in danger right now. They can rest. If they... This should keep those pesky doors open. I'll pick up the girls before I leave. Towels are massively useful, but maybe later. I need the muffling towel. There are noisy students in the library. Ugh, you hear that ruckus? Someone's wooing in the microfilm room.
What? How dare they make so much noise?
They need to be taught a lesson, you're right. But, oh, you had a really late night, and you've got all that spritzing to do. Why don't you give me the towel, and I'll take care of it? It's mufflin' time!
I like your passion, Tabby. You are worthy to bear the towel.
Oh, there are some festive sounds coming in from outside. Now I can grab it. Nobody's gonna have use for a burnt-out light bulb. I'll just get rid of it. This should brighten things up. A Gentle Cat in the Desert premieres amidst funding furor. A Gentle Cat in the Desert. The hotly anticipated film from veteran director #Jack Spiker premiered with much fanfare at the Gibbon Theatre last night, with big celebrities including Potter Lee, the famed auteur, in attendance. But no eyes were on Potter last night. Amid a flurry of controversy around the financing of the movie, Bartholomew Montameeuws, local actor and star of the film, walked down the red carpet with a mysterious but very pregnant cat on his arm. Bartholomew laughed away the accusations that the movie was sponsored by mob money, stating it was nothing more than jealous rumors. He was less blasé when asked about the lackluster critical reception of the movie. Critics have lambasted the movie for substandard acting, direction, and writing, and say that MMF film industry cannot expect to grow with productions of this quality. A Gentle Cat in the Desert is likely to be one of the biggest flops of the year. So Bartholomew was a movie star. Interesting. I wonder who the lady that accompanied him was. I'd better get a printout of this. This should be enough for Cuddles. Better grab the girls and get back to the office. Shame. I wonder if he's still sleeping.
Did I sleep through the entire day? I had a dream last night, Ramon. I was in a forest, running away from mushrooms. Toadstools with stubby little toadstool legs chasing me through the trees. They had tiny, sharpened sticks in their hands, and they were yelling at me with their cute mushroom mouths. It was adorable, but I was terrified. What could it mean?
Good evening, sir.
Tabby, what are you still doing here at this time of night?
You were passed out, sir. I wanted to be sure you were all right after your encounter.
Oh, thanks, Tabster. I appreciate it. I'm fine, though, really.
Were you on the phone to someone? I heard you talking.
Oh, no, I was just telling Ramon about my weird dream. I was running away from armed toadstools in a forest, and I think my feet were made of rubber. Do you think it means something?
Oh, did you eat any camembert before you went to sleep? You know how cheese affects you.
I don't think so.
Then it's probably just your subconscious panicking, you know. Oh no, what if the scary mobster cuts me into a million little pieces, Ramon?
Oh, thanks. That makes me feel a lot better.
The way forward is to focus on the facts, sir. And I've got a juicy one from my trip to the university. I found out something about Bartholomew.
That's what I'm talking about. Teamwork. Great stuff, Tabs. Let's hear it.
Well, we were on the right track, sir, but missed the mark a bit. A Gentle Cat in the Desert isn't a book. It's a film. And not only that, Bartholomew was one of the stars. It was meant to be a tentpole production to catapult the Meow Meow Furrington film industry to worldwide acclaim.
Wait, since when do we have a local film industry?
Yeah, we don't. Not anymore. Gentle Cat was a massive failure, and when other films also failed to do as well as hoped, the entire thing collapsed. Apparently there's a few paw prints in the cement somewhere in the city, and that's all that remains of it.
Huh. And Bartholomew was in the movie, you say? That must have been before his mob days.
Not necessarily, sir. The papers back then were choked with speculation over where the money for the film came from, and most of them pointed at the mob. It might have been how Bartholomew first got involved with them.
Interesting. Yeah, that would add up. Maybe he promised them a nice cut of the profits, and it all went bad, and he had to pay off his debt somehow. Do you have a copy of the article?
Just this photo, sir.
Oh, wow, the premiere. Gosh, he looks so young. He looks a lot like Edgar.
Never mind that, sir. Take a look at who he's with.
A co-star, maybe? Can't see the face.
It's not her face that caught my eye.
What do you mean? But that means, Tabby, how long ago was this?
Pretty much 3 decades, sir.
Well now, isn't that interesting?
Might explain why Edgar was looking into his father's past. Perhaps he was trying to find out her name too?
That sounds plausible. I think it's time I pay a visit to Mr. Montameeuws and see what he has to say about it.
Are you feeling better after your chat last night?
I am now. Who is he anyway? Really, if you think about it, just a big cat with a lot of money. I bet he doesn't even own a declawing machine. I like this city, Tabby. It's where I keep all my stuff. I'm not gonna let those mushrooms scare me out of it.
Those mobsters?
Mobsters, yep. Totally what I meant. Totally. Thanks for the help, Tabby. Time to wade deeper into this mess. Well, I can't put it off any longer. I'm heading to Bartholomew.
Good luck, sir. And be careful. I'll wait here until you get back.
Thank you, Tabby. If you don't see me again by tomorrow, tell the police to look for me in Bartholomew's basement, I guess. Seems word is spread about Edgar. Looks like he knew quite a lot of people. Ooh, a heart-shaped button. Does this open a secret drawer of heart-shaped candy, maybe? Let's see. What? Oh, whoa, what is happening? Why, that is quite a bed. Goodness, is that a... wait, yes. Well, good. I've got that now. Stuffed deep in my briefcase where nobody can see it. To ask questions or anything. I'm here to see Bartholomew.
Tinkle knows. Boss Cat told him to expect Kitty. Is Kitty in trouble?
I'm not in trouble. I'm doing my civic duty as the investigator of a criminal case to...
Tinkle thinks Kitty should be careful with word criminal.
I didn't mean... I'm gonna go inside now.
Kitty is not as dumb as you look, then.
Thank you, Teen Voon Kiljunta.
Bartholomew stared at me silently after Tinkle left. Clearly, I wasn't the only cat who had slept restlessly. He wore the same clothes I'd seen him in the night before. He had bags under his eyes. The bite of whiskey filled the air. Tinvunkle, what now?
Did you think his parents named him Tinkle? It's only this foolish city that still cleaves to the stupid tradition of giving children sappy names. He merely got tired of nobody in the city pronouncing it properly, so he shortened it.
I see, so I guess you could say he crushed it. Hey. The flat stare I got told me that my attempt at comedy was not appreciated. Thankfully, he changed the topic, sparing me from more awkwardness.
Do you believe that a son should pay for the sins of his father, Nutterbutter?
I don't believe that anyone should pay for someone else's mistakes, especially if the price is death, but the world is an unfair place.
Ah, and it is your job to make it fair?
No. My job is to try.
How noble. Your clients must find you a delight with your self-deprecating humility, righteous words, and penchant for irreverent comedy. But what of family, Nutterbutter? Can justice be served when your sin is your bloodline?
It can always be served. Sins aren't found in blood. They're found in actions. They can be traced to those who performed them and used as evidence to hold them to account. The big cat's keen gaze unnerved me. I had been ready to be yelled at again, threatened, even ignored, but not whatever this was. Interrogated, conversed with.
So, do you believe that my son was killed because of me? Because of the actions I took?
I don't have enough information to say yet. Have you done anything recently that would have given someone a revenge motive? Any overdue parking tickets, just for example? He did not like that. Not at all. His eyes narrowed, and one side of his mouth rose in a snarl to reveal bone-white canines embedded in blood-pink gums.
Does this strike you as a time for levity, Nutterbutter? You wield your graceless wit like a dulled blade, probing for what? Information? Weakness? Guilt? Spare me the deflections and tell me, have you considered what I told you last night?
He used his words like bludgeons. The bigger, the better. That was fine. I could talk a lot too, and I'd read all the books on my bookshelf. I knew words. I have considered it, Mr. Montameeuws, at length, but you're not the first cat to threaten me, and I have no doubt the last either. So if you think I'm going to roll over the moment someone bigger than me bares his fangs, I need you to understand, all cats are bigger than me. I won't be your lap cat. Mr. Montameeuws. I don't report to you, and I don't work for you. I won't slink to your side the moment you snap your fingers. You don't like my jokes. That's fair. Black humor is far from rare in my line of work, but I can understand it turning your nose at a time like this. But I'm not going to stop being who I am for you. I'm a PI and not a police cat because I value my independence no matter which side of the law I'm dealing with. I told you last night that I would find your son's killer, and I stand by that. I swear it, even on Edgar. I was ready to die right then, for Tinkle to burst in and turn me into wet red kibble with his gargantuan paws, but it had to be said. I couldn't have done the case under pretense. He needed to know who he was dealing with. And at last, it seemed he did.
You surprise me, Nutterbutter, but do not use his name like that ever again. Very well. Do you have any information for me?
I had to wet my tongue before I could continue. Out of the frying pan, into the mobster fire. There are a few pieces of evidence I'd like to discuss with you, yes, but last night's interaction was heated, and I would like to avoid a repeat. We will be discussing unpleasant topics. Do I have your assurance that you will remain as collected as you are now?
Collected? Yes, I will be as collected as I am now. I will nod and smile and pretend that I do not feel crippled by the loss whenever I think of my son, or filled with unquenchable rage to punish his killer. Your mother should have taught you not to judge a cat by the shine of his coat, Nutterbutter. My pain is vast. It would swallow you, and you would drown in it, alone and forgotten, mewling forever. I am not collected. I am enraged.
I stared into eyes that burned like holes into a place beyond the world. A terrible place. And then he blinked, and they were simply eyes again.
But my suffering will not aid you in finding the murderer. So you have tonight, and tonight only, to ask me whatever questions you wish. I will answer them, all of them, as truthfully and calmly as you can hope for, and reserve my anguish for when I am alone, when it shall not bother you.
I didn't mean...
Orphan, widow, widower. Words made of pain, for pain, yet they at least grant an identity. But for a parent that loses a child? Nothing. The very idea is so terrible that we leave it nameless. So I am denied even that simple expression, and my grief must remain anonymous, and all the worse for it. Consider that, and hope that you never, ever feel anything a fraction as terrible.
I wanted to say something, anything that would show I understood, but did I? I'd come here to stand up to a bully, but I'd only succeeded in becoming the antagonist. I'd expected to have to face down a monster, but all I'd found was a cat in pain. Mr. Montameeuws, do you have someone you can talk to, about what's happened? He didn't say a word, but I saw a look in his eye that answered my question. I am so sorry for your loss.
Your sorrow is meaningless to me. Tell me what you have found.
I found this business card on your son's body. Do you know where it's from?
Celestine.
Who's that?
A mercenary of a cat. That's his business card. He owns The Establishment, a venue that myself and other cats like me use as neutral ground. But I've only ever gone there with Teen Vunkil Junta. Edgar knew of it, certainly, but he never expressed the slightest interest.
Worth following up on?
If Edgar was there, that tricky two-color cat would definitely have taken note. If only to find a way to exploit it to his own ends.
Oh, I'll pay him a visit then. Can I have the address?
You'll find them not far from here, across Herod Bridge, in Cabacon Street.
Your son made a note of something. He seemed quite keen to keep it a secret. A Gentle Cat in the Desert. A movie title, it would seem. We did some poking around and discovered that you have an interesting history. An actor. I would never have guessed.
Am I the first actor you've met, Nutterbutter? You seem disbelieving that we exist.
Oh, you exist, but you don't advertise the fact either. Did Edgar know of your previous occupation before recently?
I don't think so. I never brought it up. It was so long ago, and I didn't want him to.
To dig into the drama around your final production? I have a theory about where the murky trail of funding for that film ends. How did you get your foot in the door of this line of work in the first place, Mr. Montameeuws? Is it possible some of your investors sought to get some long-delayed recompense?
That's not a theory, it's a hypothesis. A very fanciful one.
Well, then give me some facts, Mr. Montameeuws. Your son starts looking into a film you made decades ago and dies. Did he speak to the wrong people? Or something else entirely? I couldn't help but notice a very pregnant cat standing next to you on the red carpet. The dates add up, Mr. Montameeuws. How is his mother doing? He kept his expression mostly still, but his mouth twitched unhappily at that.
I hope the story you're spinning is entertaining you, Nutterbutter, because it is a fiction. Spiderwebs and shadows. You are correct on one count. That is Edgar's mother. Barely. She had other ideas about where she wanted her career to go, and a child did not fit into it. That cursed film was the end of my acting career, and the end of her involvement in our lives. If Edgar was looking into my past, he would have learned nothing beyond what I told him when I felt he was old enough. That he had one parent who loved him, and one who did not.
I've heard from your staff that whenever Edgar visited the club, he'd invariably go to your office. Except last night. Why's that?
Are you sure you're an investigator, Nutterbutter? I was out of the country. Of course, he didn't bother going to my office.
Does he only go there if you're around? Do you socialize outside of work? What did you talk about last?
How is any of that relevant? If you're fishing to ask if we'd had a fight, we did not. He was just taking some time to be alone. He had the other keycard for my office elevator. He knew he was free to come and go as he pleased. As for what we discussed last, the loss of his friend, the expansion of the business, goals for the future, mundanities.
I found a bag of nip on Edgar's body.
Nip? No. You are mistaken.
I'm really not, I promise. The packet was in his clenched paw, as if he'd just received it. He apparently met up with someone at the club, and they acted somewhat suspiciously.
Listen to me. Edgar did not take nip.
I understand Edgar had not been to the club in months. Have you seen him personally in that time? Could he perhaps have picked up some new habits? I've also heard that you do not tolerate drug use by your staff, but does that extend to your family? It's not as simple to fire a son as it is an entertainer, for example.
Is that a reference to Plucky and her unseemly dependency? Yes, I know of it. She doesn't hide it nearly as well as she seems to think. But as long as what she takes comes in a bottle, served over a pharmacy counter, I don't care. When it starts coming in a bag, smuggled paw to paw in a dirty alleyway, then I take action.
All right, but you still can't be certain Edgar wasn't indulging. How close were you two? Could he have been hiding it from you?
Do you know any nip addicts, Nutterbutter? It's not something you tuck into a pocket and turn to when you have a free moment. It consumes your life. If Edgar was involved, I would know. And beyond that, he was distraught that a friend of his had died of an overdose. Furious even. He had come to hate nip as much as I do.
Your staff have some theories about what happened.
I'm sure they do.
Tinkle didn't see anything odd, apart from Edgar even being at the club after such a long absence, but he did note that he seemed very upbeat. Did anything happen recently that might have improved his mood?
Not that I'm aware of, but we had not spoken in a while.
Miss Kitty says she heard Edgar coming back into the club later that evening, along with a cat she recognized the voice of, a big, mean type, she claims.
I would not trust anything Platty claims to have seen or heard after 2 a.m. That's her indulgence time. What she sees or hears then is liable to get confused.
If you say so, but I did find a very large footprint next to Edgar's body, larger than anyone who works for you.
Then investigate it. Do you need my permission?
No, never mind. Finally, Pepe says he saw Mousezilla, but I think we can discount that.
You might find Pepe's convictions ridiculous, but he is not insane or blind. He is loyal and trustworthy. Mousezilla is obviously not real, but if he says he saw something, I'd give him the benefit of the doubt.
You must have accumulated quite the rogues gallery of enemies in this business, Mr. Montameeuws. Can you think of anyone that might want revenge?
I am older than I seem, Nutterbutter, and I have managed to outlive most of my enemies. Those that remain would not strike at me through my son.
If you believe they wouldn't, doesn't that make it the ideal way to catch you by surprise? No ancient rivals, no young upstarts, the Catulets I've heard mentioned.
You simply don't know enough about how things work in this city, Nutterbutter. There's a hierarchy, and on top, 2 families stand supreme. Mine and the Catulets. They have their domain and I have mine. We do not jockey for position. There is simply no chance they would have done this. And any small organization, they would not risk annihilation. And that is certainly what would befall them if they dared a move like this.
Well, I'll still keep my eye on those as options for now, if that's all right.
As you wish.
Okay, that's all the information I have so far, Mr. Montameeuws.
Then I imagine you'll want to get back out there and start gathering more. You know where the door is, of course.
Cuddles?
Desiree, what are you doing here?
I've not left yet, Cuddles.
You've been here the whole day? Desiree, you've had a traumatic experience. You need some rest.
I managed to nap a little in my room, thank you, Cuddles. But...
The attractive cat looked in the direction of Tinkle, guarding the elevator like a sphinx.
I wanted to thank you properly for saving me yesterday. Who knows how much longer I'd have been stuck there? Are you speaking with Bartholomew? Have you found evidence against him? You have to involve the police, Cuddles.
No, nothing like that. He, invited me over for a chat.
You can't trust him, Cuddles! Please, don't believe a single word he says.
Abruptly, tears appeared in her eyes.
Oh, Cuddles, I'm scared to even think it. Could Bartholomew have...
Killed his own son? Why? She stared at me for a moment through shining tears before seeming to come to a decision.
There's something you need to know, Cuddles. Edgar and I, the night he died, we talked.
What?
After my act, he came to my changing room. He was angry, Cuddles, going on about his father, about Gumdrop. He seemed angry at the whole Montameeuws Empire and scared. Could Bartholomew have given him an ultimatum? Perhaps Edgar wanted out, but his father had other plans.
Why didn't you mention this last night?
Oh, Cuddles, forgive me, but I didn't trust you yet. You found me in the chest when nobody else did, and I wondered if Bartholomew was trying to trick me. But I spoke to Pepe and to Tinkle, and it's clear you're earnest about solving this.
Anything else might you have overlooked mentioning last night, Desiree?
Nothing more. I swear. I can't help but feel that this is partly my fault. Perhaps if I'd tried to convince Edgar to cut ties or offered more support.
I'm sure there's nothing more you could have done, Desiree.
It's so kind of you to say, Cuddles. And I feel so much better after speaking to you. If you need any help putting that horrible criminal away for what he did, just ask.
Thanks. I shall. Meow's Emporium. This is the shop, according to Huggy. That Cosmo person should be here.